Super chat time from Kakarot, 9051. Again, I think I always pronounce that wrong, but whatever. What are the chances we face Philly in the playoffs? Kind of decent. I think what will happen is the Niners will get the 6 seed and Philly will get the 7 seed. Now, if Dallas is playing for something in Week 18, well, maybe Philly doesn't win that game. Maybe they do, since Dallas will obscure the playoff spot. There is a non-zero chance, a decent-sized one, I think, that Dallas will potentially play Philly back-to-back games. I think it's a little bit more likely that Dallas plays like the Niners in a 3-6 matchup than a 2-7 for Philly, but maybe the Niners collapse and Philly wins a game. I don't know. It's a possibility, though, and it's a good question. And I'd be so mad if they lost to Philly in the position. I would lose my shit. I would say fire McCarthy immediately. All right, Byron Berry. Could Dallas lose both Kellen and Quinn? Yeah, they could. The Jags sent out their very lengthy list of interview requests, and to the surprise of nobody, at least should be the surprise of nobody, Kellen Moore and Dan Quinn both on that list. They're both going to have pretty big interest this year from NFL teams. They are coordinating arguably 2 top 5 units, and there's not that much of an argument, I don't think, especially if the Cowboys' offense is fixed and back again. That commands interest. Dan Quinn has done an incredible turnaround job. It cannot be overlooked. Kellen Moore fits the mold of what all these NFL teams love to have as their head coaches, right? Young, innovative, offensive mind, former player, bright young guy. Everyone wants the next Sean McVay. Sometimes the next Sean McVay ends up being Jason Garrett. Kellen Moore could be either of those things, but NFL teams love to gamble on that type of guy. I think for the Jags job, Kellen Moore makes more sense because you want to build around Trevor Lawrence. I don't think Jacksonville is the right job for Dan Quinn, but I think Kellen is the one to watch for that one. I think Dan Quinn for other jobs is going to be a bigger threat. Of these two, the two coordinators, who's more important? Now, they're obviously both incredibly important, but who's more so? KM for Kellen Moore, DQ for Dan Quinn. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if that ad break comes, take advantage of it. Head down to the comment section and let me know. Mr. 83, if Dallas beats Arizona by 20 plus, are we the consensus number 1 team in the NFL? Depends on what the Packers are doing. The Packers blow out Minnesota. I still think Green Bay's your team. I'll say this, though. I think teams like the Cowboys, the Chiefs, and the Bills, if their offenses are fixed, those are not teams other NFL teams want to play in the postseason because they're dangerous there. So I don't worry that much about the number 1 team. Just go win the damn Super Bowl is all I care about. I don't care if you view it as number 1 or number 17 entering it. Go win. That's all I want. The Lunatic, give D-Law his props since coming back. I mean, you're talking to I guess I'll call it DeMarcus Lawrence truther, although I was right. I've always been right on him. He's a great football player. If you only chase the sack numbers, doesn't look that great. We've seen how many impact plays since he came back. He's been an awesome football player really the entire time, but since coming back, having some help from Parsons and Gregory, they're all just lifting each other's play up. Vince, who will be the most unfavorable matchup in the Super Bowl? Chiefs, Colts, Bills? One of these two is not like the other. It's the Colts, by the way. Bring me the Colts. I don't fear them the same way I fear a Josh Allen playing great or a Patrick Mahomes playing great. I think your biggest one is probably the Bills or the Chiefs. I think one of those two teams would give you the most concern. But let's focus in on NFC before we jump that far ahead. If you did not get what you wanted for Christmas, I'm sorry. I know that sucks. But you can help fill that gift-sized hole with a new Cowboys jersey. There are a bunch of them available on Fanatics, official NFL jerseys as low as $90, like that Z color. I think there's an Amari color rush too, also for $90 at chatsports.com/Cowboys Jersey. Now, not all of these are under $90. Some of them are a little bit more expensive, like the Micah Parsons rookie jersey. But head over chatsports.com/Cowboys Jersey for the full allotment of a wide variety of Cowboys jerseys today. Dusty Rhodes. People forgot and need to praise Tank Lawrence for his play. He's been awesome, and he's very underrated. I don't know if I'm actually not trying to use the word underrated. I would actually use the word disrespected. Because I think the rest of the NFL views Tank as a great football player. There was a vocal minority that were like, Tank sucks, cut him. Injuries, fair. Contract costs just the offseason, fair. I would extend him and bring that cap hit down, but he's a great football player. Samuel Rowe, who wants the Colts? They take the ball away and hold it, want the run. I'm fine against the Colts. I don't care who I play in the AFC if they get to the Super Bowl. Robert Phillips, what would it take for this defense to cement its nickname, the Pride? I'm going to say this. I am not allowing nicknames for the defense. Can't have them yet, all right? Because we did that hot boy shit. We did stop it. The hot boy shit didn't work. Not allowed. So check in with me come, February. Then we can decide if they get a nickname or not. Because the hot boys disaster turned me off of nicknames forever. It's a good nickname, but we can't give it to them quite yet. Folks, the Cowboys Report is live on Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So sub if you want to tune in and join us for these bids. You can be a part of the mailbag. All you have to do is, if you're watching right now on YouTube, whether it's live or on demand, click the big red button. That subscribes you, and by the way, just make sure your noties are set to all. That way you don't miss out on anything here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Electric Fire. Who's going to take Defensive Player of the Year over Parsons? Maybe TJ Watt, maybe Myles Garrett. As the weeks have gone on, he's helped his stock. Now, he's been a little bit more quiet in recent weeks, but it almost might come down to which guy blows up in week 18 to get the hype. But he's got a real shot for it. From 1K Glizuk. Who is the most important free agent Dallas needs to re-sign? I think I would go with Randy Gregory. That pass rush is awesome. When you're able to rush Parsons and Lawrence and Gregory and Gallimore or Osa, whoever, it's made life easier on your corners, and so too having good cornerback play up to the pass rush. It's all interconnected. I think Gregory would be my number one guy, and then guys like Gallup and Jayron Kease and maybe I think Dalton Schultz as well, receivers too. Allen Williams II, as awesome as Parsons is, keep him as linebacker or DE might be a dumb question. I think that my answer here is a non-answer to start. You must continue to utilize Micah pass rusher. The most impactful side of the game is the passing game. And that is where Parsons makes his impact more so as a pass rusher than a coverage guy. I think you would rather in a bubble have a great pass rusher than a great off-ball linebacker. Now, Parsons as a unicorn, being able to cover guys, being able to run stop at off-ball linebacker or defensive end. I think you want to continue to utilize him as that incredibly off-the-charts dynamic playmaker. I still like him way more as a pass rusher than in coverage. So it's fine to play him at either, as long as you ensure that pass rush value happens. If I had to pick one, defensive end. I think we've seen, though, that the Cowboys can utilize both of them, both roles for Parsons. He is, after all, your only good linebacker right now. But change in the offseason, they can just give him a defensive end. Easy. Cowboys Cardinals this week. We have the preview already up on the channel. We'll be live for the game as well. But I want you to predict the score for me of this upcoming game. Head to the comment section and shoot your shot. from Girthquake. Wow, isn't kind of dirty, I think. Most important free agent signing, Dalton, Gregory, MG, or Curse? I think you pegged the top 4 guys. I think I'd go Randy Gregory and then one of Dalton Schultz might be out. But that's not disrespect to Jayron Kease, but I think you could find some safety help some way. Might be a little bit tougher for edge help or tight end help given the contract market out there. So they're all important, but Gregory's still my number 1. Mike C., how's Tyron Smith doing? Is he going to be good for the playoffs? That's the expectation. In fact, there's a good chance he plays, barring a setback, against the Cardinals this week. So the ankle injury last time was kind of fluky. He kind of got rolled up on by his own teammate, the wrong Connor, but I think he'll be okay come postseason time. Arnold Gregory, is Donovan Wilson going to pass DeMarcus Lawrence on the depth chart? Good question. Wilson's been a bit banged up, a lot banged up this year. It's cost him a lot of time. I don't love Casey. That's kind of like my number 2 weakness behind the LVE Keanu Neal duo because they get lost way too often. So of the changes you could possibly make, this is the one that I think feasibly makes sense. More reps from Lee Hooker and Wilson, fewer for DeMarcus Lawrence. Pick a safety for me. Which one do you want to start? W for Donovan Wilson, who was supposed to be safety 1 entering this year but has missed so much time, or K for DeMarcus Lawrence. W for Wilson or K for DeMarcus Lawrence.